मॉर्निंग एवरीबॉडी। आज हमारा ट्रैक का तीसरा दिन है और हम लोग डिब्स जा रहे हैं। अभी ऑलमोस्ट डिब्स पहुंच गए। और कहाँ से निकले हम लोग? पालदार सुंदो से निकले। और ये है टोल्डन जी, सोनम टोल्डन। आज मेरे साथ आए तो ही इज़ आवर गाइड, वन ऑफ आवर एक्सपर्ट गाइड्स। और इनको पूरा ये एरिया पता है, तो कैसे जाना है, कैसे बर्फ़ के ऊपर चलना है, स्नो के ऊपर चलना है, कहाँ चलना है, कहाँ नहीं चलना है, वो सब बताते हैं हमको। और ही इज़ अ बिग सपोर्ट। तो वहाँ पे डिब्स मतलब पहुँच गया। करीबन कितने घंटे चले अभी गोल्डन? 2-2.5 घंटे? 2-2.5 घंटे चले ना। 2.5 घंटा। और बहुत ठंडी है आज, धूप बिल्कुल आई नहीं है। और देखो कैसे पानी मेल्ट हो रहा है, वापस रात को फ्रीज हो जाता है। थोड़ा सा नीचे सो क्लियर कि नीचे का ग्राउंड भी दिखता है। ये जो मैजेस्टी है ये माउंटेन्स की, वो कैमरा में भी कैच नहीं कर सकते और वीडियो कैमरा में भी नहीं कर सकते। जो आँख से दिखता है यहाँ पे, दैट कैन नॉट बी डुप्लीकेटेड ऑन कैमरा एज वेल एज वीडियो। बट जो भी है, होपफुली व्यूअर्स को पता चल रहा है कि ये दिस इज रियल कंट्री। हमारे साथ अभी 1-2 जन है जो एवरेस्ट बेस कैंप की कर चुके हैं। वो बताते हैं कि यहाँ की जो ब्यूटी है, माउंटेन, स्नो, पानी, ये सब की, वो कहीं भी नहीं है। सो आई एम सो हैप्पी आई केम ऑन दिस ट्रिप। ओवर एंड आउट। हाय फोक्स, दिस इज डे 4 of Chadar trek. We are going from Deeps to Nirakpullu. That is our destination. So at the end of today, we'll reach there and look at the beautiful river flowing. And we are walking right by the edge. We use the Tolden is ahead of me, and he uses the wooden stick to tap on the snow to check how thick it is or hollow it is.
Tolden. See, look at this. You think the ice is nice and firm? No, just see how deep it goes. There. So that's how you will disappear.
This is a frozen waterfall. You can see it's a yellowish. And after we camp in Nirak today, we're going to hike up about 2.5-3 hours to the village of Nirak, and supposedly the view from there is just spectacular. और पानी है यहाँ पे। और हम लोग अभी यहाँ से ऐसे ऊपर चढ़ के उतर के आए। Come on guys, come on, come on guys, come on! Stolden and Milind talking, waiting for the second half of our crew with Nitin and Sange and Peter, and of course most of our half of the porter staff. Thank you. आगे जाते हैं. Oh, beautiful. Hi Nitin. Hi Peter. Day 5?
बहुत चलने का यार.
बहुत चलने का. I'll catch you later. Bye. Milind trying to rearrange and change his jackets. Milind, hi Gar.
Hi.
Just leaving Nerakpulu and heading towards Deeps. So this is our first day of the return journey, and a lot of the landscape has changed. Yesterday there was snow, there's ice, and hopefully we waded through a lot of water yesterday. So hopefully that has become either snow or ice today. So it'll be easier to walk over, and so that's the changing face of Chadar. Hope you caught the quietness. It's super quiet, peaceful. Peter, use your walking sticks, okay? Be careful.
काय खतरा लगा की नाही.
Beautiful.
आईला काय कहर आहे बाबा. आणि ही आवाड हवे नदी संबंध बर्फाच्या खालनं वाहते. कधी कधी नॅरो गॉडमधनं, कधी कधी मोठ्या पात्रामधनं. कहर कहर कहर. मी पुढे येऊ का?
हो. Go ahead, go ahead. Beautiful. Look at the thickness of the ice. Must be at least 2 to 4 or 3 feet, and probably more underneath. Look at the various icicle layers that it forms by the cold and thaw cycles, I guess. And piece of ice cracked here because when it's too much ice, it expands and cracks and breaks up like this. This is a spot where the Chadar is completely frozen, and you have to climb over these rocks. And you will go over these rocks and trek over these rocks all the way to there. Let's see if I can zoom in. My snow tracks just came off my boot, so I'm just sitting here to fix it. And there's some people coming.
Oh, it was stunning. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, the way just one element, which is water, H2O, has so many shapes, dimensions, and combinations. Okay. So in Nerak, we are beautifully, you remember that the Bukhari, and we were warming ourselves, and Raymond was toppling things over, and Peter was toppling things over, and we were having a good time. So I thought this trek is just too good to be true, because in every trek there is something, which is that point where you're uncertain, or you're a little scared, or you're mentally worn down. But in the Chadar, nothing like that happened except the cold, of course, and which was bad. And I thought it was just too good to be true, and I was just keeping quiet. So when Nitin Bhau said that he's going to spend another night on the Chadar, I said, thank you very much, but this is too good to be true. So me and Prashant are off to Leh to be in pressure comforts. Actually, I thought I'll do this in 4 hours. I'll not wait for lunch to dips. The first time I actually saw the difficulty of getting into water. I mean, we went through the water, right, before, but it was not really difficult. It was getting used to it.
It never got into our boots.
Yeah, 5 minutes, and then you know the rhythm, you know the pace. But when we came, the water was very different, and you really couldn't get into the water. So you had to scale the sides of the rock.
Mountains.
Yeah. So, which was fine, but it just the traverse just kept getting higher and higher, and it was not a short traverse. It was just going on forever. So we were almost, if I remember right, we were about 1 hour on the traverse, and some of the places had not much hold, and more than hold, we were in our gum boots, so they were not the right boots for climbing it. You had your gloves, so you could not get the holes right, and there was ice on many places and fresh snow. So obviously that made it very slippery. So and where you could get down, you didn't have the ice to step onto it. Where you had the ice to step on, you couldn't get down. So you had to finally choose a spot where there was ice and you also could come down, which I think made it longer. I wouldn't say it was unnerving for me, because I've handled exposures, but it was not easy. It was difficult because the cold was bad, the outfits were very heavy. So on the ledges, traversing with these heavy outfits and in that cold was tough. And I was more concerned about what is going to come ahead. So if the river has actually melted away and the Chadar is given way, then what do you do? Because that cold is going to actually eat into you if you stay for more than 3 or 4 days.
This is probably the most difficult part of the trek so far. The entire river is kind of frozen. I mean, it's kind of not frozen, so you can't really walk on it. So we have to climb up the hill. It looks like this is going on for a little bit. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a long day. let's hope for the best.
That's the whole thing about nature, you can't predict anything. And you all know what happened when we came back from Nerak. I mean, there was one point of time when I was standing in front of all those rocks, and we had to go up and we had to go up rocks, and we were not wearing rock climbing gear, we were wearing snow walking gear. I mean, we were wearing those gum boots with yak tracks and thick gloves, which can't give you any grip of any kind on any rock here. And then I looked at it and I said, man, looks like I'm not going to be going back to Bombay. Game over.
I don't think YouTubes and other things prepare you for that. They talk about certain level of uncertainty of this Chadar trek, but not as much as we actually experienced. What happened in the night after we reached Nerak is that the river spilled over the Chadar, which means all the routes were wiped off, all the snow was gone, the ice was completely exposed, and the water came above the ice. When that happens, if the water is only up to the shoe level, fine, we have gumboots, we can go through it, no issues. But any time it goes above gumboots, it's a big deal because it's extremely cold water and it creates a huge problems. So their only other choice is you go and traverse through the mountain, which does not have a path. The rock is crazy. Rock has a ice, ice layer on it, so it's a very tricky, you cannot hold it very well. Many places the sharp angle going down is so intense that it's almost about 70-80 degrees. And at that point, Prashant, I have told you many times and you told me many times, at least 5,000 steps we have taken where a single slip we would have said goodbye.
And we were down 40-50 feet.
Exactly.
Either falling on rocks or into the water.
And if you go into the river, then you're done anyway.
This is probably the closest to a life or death situation that I've been in my life. I mean, with my level of knowledge. I mean, somebody who's done hundreds of treks may say, oh no, this is very easy. But for me, knowing my current physical capability and stamina and whatever, I said this is like, real bad. But surprisingly, after that, I got one quick shot of panic, which lasted for about all of maybe 5 seconds. And after that, I don't know what, something happened. And I just kind of calmed down. I got into some kind of, zone or whatever you call it. And then I was absolutely calm. I was not stressed, I was not frightened, I was not scared, nothing. Whatever instructions that guide gave me, I said, okay, you want me to do this? Okay. Stand here? Okay. Put your foot here? Okay. Come, jump up? Okay. He's tied me up. I have to slide down a rock face without any hold. And I can't see. And I just have to let go and fall and hope that the guy below catches me or holds me, whatever. So it didn't bother me one bit. I simply followed the instructions and I reached the other side. And when I reached the lunch spot also, I was pretty cool about the whole thing. And then basically what I realized is that, what the hell am I getting so worked up in life about in Bombay and all small, really stupid things I'm yelling and shouting at? It seems to be absolutely counterproductive. In the sense that, here I am faced with such a difficult situation, and by not losing my cool, I'm able to go through it peacefully and, do it. And then, getting worked up over trivial matters seems so stupid, I would say.
We just crossed probably the most difficult part of the trek. Till now. We're still not at dips, so we're about 2 hours from dips. And it was really, really treacherous. We had to climb up mountains and climb up and rope ourselves down and up on rocky hills. And finally, after 5 hours, since we left this morning, the group is camped for... Nitin! Hey, Nitin is here! Hey! Last member of our crew just made it. And all the porters, the crew are just resting. And the chef is making lunch because we need to fuel ourselves. खाना पड़ेगा कुछ शक्ति के लिए. अभी और 2 घंटा जाना है. Sange!
Sange! Thank you!
This was the same spot where we had to climb up and down some rocks. Actually, we went up this way, and then we went down this way. And on the way back, this terrain has completely changed in about less than 24 hours. So
No, 2 hours from here, 2 hours.
that's Mother Nature. That's Chadar. That's the magic of Chadar. A little scary, but exciting. So for someone who wants to do a Chadar trek, what would you think? What would you say are the 2, 3, or 4 things that the person needs to prepare for, or the person needs to have in himself or herself?
See, one first thing is that you have to genuinely ask yourself whether you love the outdoors. Do you love mountains? Do you love beaches? Do you love jungles? If you love the outdoors, that's a necessary condition. Without it, everything is going to be a struggle because you are not enjoying this. This is not a walk in the park. I mean, no trek is really. Second thing is there has to be a level of experience, though not like the Chadar, it need not be, but there has to be a level of experience of the outdoors. How to tackle a path, how to tackle a ledge, that experience has to be there. A little bit of familiarization of that. So don't step onto the Chadar without any experience of outdoors, even if you like the outdoors. The third thing is, I think you have to be mentally tough because you will not be feeling great physically. The cold will be eating you up. Your appetite might not be great every day. You might feel pukish. You have to get up in the night to crap and to take a leak at minus 15 degrees. So you know what parts of the body are exposed. And the whole act of getting out of the sleeping bag and getting into the sleeping bag is perhaps the most painful thing. So these are the 3 things, and never take such kind of treks lightly. You would read on the websites of a lot of these adventure outfits talking about how it's not so difficult. Well, it's not so difficult, okay, but you could be in a damn bad spot, okay, and then it doesn't matter whether statistically it is not so difficult because you are in a spot. So loving the outdoors, genuinely do you love the outdoors, or do you want to just do it because there are people doing it? 2, a level of familiarity and fitness and familiarity of the outdoors, and third is serious mental toughness.
Very well said.
First of all, having exposure to Himalayan trekking is useful. Prashant is a crazy guy who has not had that exposure, but they still did it. It was great. But usually that will be helpful. Mental toughness is very helpful. It's very cold and you continue to feel what's the deal and so on. And you should be able to feed from the environment around you, which is incredibly best environment you can come across scenery point of view. Yeah. So if you can feed your energy from that, and then you have mental toughness, and then you have some exposure, I think you can do it.
The first thing is a reasonable level of physical fitness. I mean, you don't have to be super fit like some marathon runners, but you need to have a reasonable level of fitness. If the fitter you are, the more easier it is to do it. I mean, less challenging. The more unfit you are, the more challenging it becomes. So you have to have certain level of fitness. You've got to be able to have the ability to walk 5-6 hours at a stretch. So that is the base level of physical fitness. Also, I mean, mentally you have to be a bit, what shall I say? Shouldn't think too much. Yeah. This is not a place for thinkers. You start thinking, then you may get, you may psych yourself up into not being able to do it.
Yeah.
I remember one night in dips where it was bitterly cold.
It was like minus 20.
Yeah, minus 20 with the wind blowing around like crazy. And I was inside my sleeping bag in my tent. I'm saying, okay, what do I do now? Can I get out and walk? No, I cannot. Can I go to the kitchen tent? No, it's closed. Can I do anything to improve my current situation? No. What can I do? I can lie inside my sleeping bag and breathe. That's all I can do. And breathing is, if I breathe into the bag slowly becomes warmer. And then that is the most comfortable place possible for me at that point of time. There's nothing to do. I cannot do anything to make it better. I have to just be.
And keeping the calm and just kind of thinking and keeping the cool, right? That's very important.
Yeah, so at one point of time, I stopped thinking where I have to go or where I have to reach. I was saying, if I can take the next step, I'm happy. That's it. Let's take it one step at a time. Okay, I'm standing here. I have to go there. No, I'm not going to worry about that. Can I take the next step? Okay, I can. Let's take it. Now can I take the next step? Yeah. If I can't take the next step, I sit, stop, and I ask for help, and I take the step. So that's how, take it one step at a time.
Well, before we got to Tilaksundar, we had to wade through water, right? And you were one of the guys who unluckily didn't have any waders, and you had to pull up your pants, and basically in shorts, you're
Take off
crossing
my
through,
shoes.
Take your shoes off,
Barefoot. On the floaters.
wear floaters, and so tell me that experience.
The first thing that hit me was there was about 100 ants biting into my bloody foot, and I was so worried. I told Tolden, frostbite. Will I get a frostbite? If I get a frostbite, I'm finished. So he said, no, you'll not get a frostbite. So the next thing was to cross it. It is extremely difficult. Same speed in the Western Ghats. We do stream crossings regularly, but the water is normal, so you can cross streams. Here the water is so cold that your feet are not moving in rhythm. Your feet are like freezing, and you could slip. And it's a powerful current.
And there's a heavy current.
Yeah, if you slip, you're gone. I mean, it'll be bad for you. I mean, I don't know if you'll die or not, but you're very close to it. So I think it was the most terrible part of Chadar. For me, the rock was fine. The water was really bad.
हम लोग चद्दर से वापस आ चुके हैं. नितिन यहाँ पे बैठा है लंच के लिए.
I'm telling you, Prashant,
और लोजन उसको लंच दे रहा है.
absolutely ridiculous.
What he means is it's amazing.
Experience we can have, we had.
If the audience knows Nitin, that what he means is it's amazing. Peter, bon appetit. Peter, bon appetit. Congratulations on finishing this. Milind, hi bol. Unsuk, hi bol.
Yes, fine.
Hey, सब लोग hi बोलो.
Yes sir, आपके लिए खाना.
वो
Last
big
खाना
There's two moments. One I can talk about now, one I can't on video. That I'll talk to you guys personally over dinner. But let me tell you the one that can be publicly made known. I was on the way walking, and I wanted to eat a piece of 5-star chocolate, and I broke it into half or quarter, and I put it in my mouth. First piece went down properly. The second piece somehow got caught in between my chin and my balaclava. And I was neither able to get it into my mouth with my tongue, and nor was I able to extricate it with my fingers because it had all gloves in it. So after 2-3 minutes of struggling, I gave up. I called Shange and said, "Can you please take out this chocolate and put it in my mouth?" So that was like really crazy. There are many others there, And the funny thing is, inside a tent, nothing gets lost, but everything gets misplaced. So you keep looking. Okay, where's the gloves? Where's the monkey cap? Where's the shoe? Where's the watch? Where's the this? It's all there somewhere in a small 20 square feet space, but they all seem to acquire, once you're asleep, they seem to acquire a life of their own. They move around.
एक दो आप जरा बताइए कुछ फनी ऐसा कुछ आपको लगा फनी मोमेंट सच में बताइए कुछ शर्माइए मैं इसके बारे में मेरे बारे में होगा कुछ भी या पीटर के बारे में मिलिंद के बारे में शुभाई और आप भी बताइए बाद में
फनी मोमेंट अभी लास्ट हम यहाँ से आया था पानी से हम और नितिन सर ने गाना गाया था ठंडे पानी
में नहाना चाहिए
और उसके बीच में खड़ा रह के हम गा रहे थे मैं तो बहुत टेंशन में था बॉस मगर फिर भी गाने से थोड़ा टेंशन कम हो गया
और संगे आपको कुछ याद आता है कुछ फनी
मैं पीटर के बारे में बोलूँगा एक सुबह शायद 8 बजे के करीब 8 या 9:30 ऐसे हम शुरुआत चले मतलब 15-20 मिनट उसके बाद पीटर का एक चॉकलेट खाया पीटर ने इतना ठंडा था पता नहीं उसने कहाँ घुसा दिया चॉकलेट को जैसे कि चॉकलेट मुंह में नहीं आया बोल रहा था बाद में बुलाया मेरे को क्या वो चॉकलेट आया नहीं
याद है उसको चॉकलेट कहाँ है बात मालूम नहीं रहा था
वो आधा उसके मुंह में आधा उसके स्कार्फ में
ऐसे यहाँ स्कार्फ में क्या हाथ में ये ग्लोव्स पहना था बाद में देखा तो गुस्सा हुआ था
Give me 1 or 2 funny moments of our trek.
Was the first?
I know you. There are plenty.
First is the 4 cardinal rules, as postulated by Nitin Bhau. It's called, like the rule of the thumb, this is now the rule of the finger. So, I won't elaborate. That's it.
Okay.
The second is Peter going in and out of anywhere. So every time Peter goes in, you have to first anticipate that Peter is coming in. So clear everything. So as I was telling Milind, one of my favorite imagination would be put Peter on a rock face. Okay, and leave him, no ropes, no anchor, no belay. Okay, and then tell him to traverse. So I hope, but we will put some mats underneath. So Peter's movements is the second most beautiful thing I've seen outside of the Chadar.
Right, thanks Shivayu.
Thank you so much, Prashant. It was a pleasure.
How would you, in two words, how would you describe this Chadar trek? Just the first two words that come to your mind.
Incredible and crazy.
All right, perfect.
Yesterday we saw while chatting incredible flash from you about all the poetry that you know. It is ridiculous in my terms. So instead of two words, without putting you on the spot, if you can actually describe this experience that Prashant is asking in some poetic terms from some borrowed words, please explain.
I think it is Bahurupi. The Chadar is Bahurupi. It has got many faces. It's tricky, it's wicked, it's coquettish, it is gentle, it is beautiful, it is benign. So it is Bahurupi. It's a Bahurupi Chadar. And you don't know what mood of the Chadar you are up against.
Very well said.
It's funny, but can I use three words?
Sure.
Yeah. First is scenery. Unbelievable. Second is friendship. Incredible. These five people, now we know each other so much that we don't need to meet again for 15 years and we'll meet again and we'll be at the same level. And we know each other incredibly well. And the third is, of course, the adventure. At the end of the adventure, I really would do the adventure again. Although I've been telling all kinds of scary stuff, I don't mind doing that again because that's the whole point, feeding the rat.
So हम लोग सब ऊपर आ गए चढ़ के we are just and गाड़ियाँ ready है हमारे लिए pick up करने के लिए and if you want to get an idea, this is what we climbed just now. We had lunch down there. As you can see, Nitin is still climbing. It's a little bit steep. You just have to come carefully and the presence of mind. Look at the Chadar. Beautiful. Saukash. Today is beautiful, cloudy but just heavenly feel. Clouds and everything on the top there. Hello folks, so that was our Chadar trek. We are returning from Pilat Sundo to Leh. And you can see the road is kind of a little bit rough road here, but the plans are to make good roads here, so hopefully in a few years there will be nice roads up here. But look at the beautiful scenery. So hip hip hooray for the whole team. Nitin in the back, hip hip hooray! Peter on my side and Sonam ji drive. Look at this. Baba Himalayas. They're still not over.
कितना बार मैं वाह वाह बोलना बीच में छोड़ दिया था फट गया था इसलिए मेरा मगर अभी फिर से चालू हो गया वाह
Oh my god, look at that.
Oh my god, sweet.
so cloudy. Look at this. Look at the sun.
निकालो नीचे कर लो भाई विंडो Unbelievable, man, unbelievable. I'm telling you,